Hello art friends, Melissa here from Paperlicious Designs. Today I'm going to share some 3.5 by 5 inch art card ideas with you. Each year from June 1st to July 31st there's an event called Index Card a Day or ICAD. You may have seen photos of some on Instagram. If you haven't, type in the hashtag ICAD and check it out. I love making index card sized art because they're a quick art fix when I'm really busy and don't have time to create a bigger art project. I've wanted to participate in this event in the past, but because I work full time, it'll be hard for me to complete a card a day. But this year I decided I'm going to just enjoy the process and see how many I can get done. Before I could even start making cards, I had to get my supplies organized. So I set up 3 different bins, and each one includes products from Shawn's collage packs. The first one includes printed papers that I can use as backgrounds. The second bin includes a lot of paper ephemera. I have some postcards, tickets, items with numbers on them. You can see I've really loaded it up. So lots of options here. And this third bin is full of elements that I thought would look good for my focal points. So I've got some flowers in here. I've already pre-cut some of them out. Isn't that one pretty? Also lots of birds. Ooh, I really love that teal one. And of course lots of butterflies. I love Shawn's butterflies. Almost everything is printed in a much smaller size so that it would fit on my 3.5 by 5 inch cards. The other thing I have is a little can with some journaling strips in it. Shawn actually has a few free items in her subscriber library that would work for this too. To get access, subscribe to her newsletter. It's password protected and she changes it occasionally, so you'll need to look for the changes in the newsletter each week. So I'm all set up, ready to go, and I can sit down each day and get busy. For the first card I'm creating, I'm using a printable from the It's Time to Fly collage pack. I printed it as a 5 by 7 and then I'm going to trim it down to 3.5 by 5 inches. I want a distress pattern in the background, so I'm going to use my gel plate. This one is a 5 inch by 7 inch gel plate. I'm applying golden Titan Mars Pell over the Mediterranean Minis 8 by 10 stencil. Because this particular background already has some journaling on it, I'm going to do my best to avoid applying paint over the words. But if I do, I'll just reprint it, trim the words out, and adhere them to the front of the card when I'm done. I need to work quickly and try to pick up that paint before it dries on the gel plate. It's a little too light and you can't see the stencil design as well as I would like to, so I'm going to try to deepen that shade of peach and come back and try again. So I added a little burnt sienna to the Titan Mars Pell, and let's see how that works out. Again, I'm going to have to work really quick to pick that paint up because the lights that I have over the camera are drying it out a lot faster than it usually does. But I'll just keep reapplying the paint if it's too dry. I'm not really going for a perfect look, it just needs to be distressed and random. And that's a lot darker. It looks much better. You can really see that pattern. Now I want some contrast, so I'm going to add more of the same pattern, but this time with that N5 Neutral Gray by Golden. And that was a good choice. I'm really liking how the background's starting to look now with that gray. The gray made a big difference, and you can see how easy and fast it was to create that background. I found this cute little gray bird I'm going to use as my focal point. I'm going to use the flourish stencil to create a little branch for him to sit on. And I think another little flourish up here in the corner will be perfect. It'll help balance it out. All right, so I'm going to distress the edges with some more of that gray paint. And this background is ready to go. And this little bird is from the American Birds History book, and it's on page 4. It's going to look a little different when you look at that page because I actually flipped it before I printed this image. And here's the completed card with embellishments. I added a little lace, a piece of a ticket from the Enjoy the Journey collage pack, a flower, and a pre-made paper embellishment I found in my stash. I'm starting the second card with the background from the Fill Your Heart collage pack. I'm applying walnut stained distress ink with a makeup brush over the key stencil. I love all the detail in the ends of the keys. I'm using ink and a makeup brush because I like the crisp lines you get with that versus if you pounced on paint. Now I'm applying the same ink over the Mediterranean mini stencil. I wanted to use the gel plate again because I love the random distress look you get with it, but the paint was drying so fast that I decided it would just be easier and less frustrating if I just stenciled it on. Stenciling on the keys first because they're in the foreground gave me a guide as to where I wanted to stencil on the background. Now I'm using the background word stencil to add even more interest to the background. Adding that third element really made a difference. I really like how it looks with this. So here's how I finished up the second card. I inked the edges with walnut stain ink and added these beautiful butterflies from the Vintage Butterfly Collage Pack. I found a chipboard key in my stash and painted it. I added a little flower, a little lace, and this one was done. For card number 3, I'm starting with a page from the Small Victories Collage Pack. I printed it 5 by 7 and then trimmed it down to 3.5 by 5 inches. I love the handwriting on this one and then the letters that go down the side. It's some kind of ledger paper. I'm using Memento Rich Cocoa dye ink with a makeup brush over the Clock 1 scroll stencil to start this background. I love the Moroccan Tiles 2 stencil, and I think it works perfect here because it reminds me of the clock hands. Another fun thing about these cards is that you can swap them with your friends. I recently joined an online paper crafting group that hosts swaps, and it's been a lot of fun for me. If you're interested in checking it out, head over to creatingthecraftylife.com. And I'm going to add another one up in this corner to kind of balance it out. Because this background is so neutral, I need to add a bright color that'll pop off of this page. So I went with these orange butterflies. I'm just going to play around with the ephemera for a few minutes and figure out where I want things. The postcard is from the Peaceful Collage Pack, and the butterflies are from the Bright Butterflies Collage Pack. And this cute little ticket is from the Enjoy the Journey Collage Pack. I decided I needed some orange in the background as well, so I'm going to apply that over the brown. I'm not trying to cover the brown up, I just wanted to add another layer of interest. So it's like a two-tone effect. Oh, I had a little too much water on my palette, so I'm dabbing that back up. So see how the brown is peeking through that orange layer? After I'm done with this corner, I'm going to repeat the same process down in the other corner. Okay, now I decided I needed a little more orange in the background, so I'm coming back in with that Clock 1 Scrolls stencil and adding a little orange over the numbers. I didn't like the orange by itself, so I went back over the numbers with some of that brown ink so it would match the other items in the background. And here's how I finished card number 3. I adhered some lace trim under the postcard, wrapped it with some brown seam binding, and added a little stick pin I found in my stash. I adhered the butterflies and then used my mini stapler to secure the ticket. And then I finished it off by adhering some trim on the back of the card along the top. So what do you think about these little pieces of art? Is this something you think you'd like to try? If you need more ideas, I have a playlist dedicated to index card art over on my channel. I have another playlist dedicated to projects using only Shawn's collage and stencils. To wrap things up, I wanted to show the little box I made to put my cards in. I collect sturdy boxes to alter, and this one is from Hallmark, and it came with a little set of cards in it. I covered it with music paper from the Sing the Song That's in Your Heart collage pack, and the butterflies are from the Vintage Butterflies collage pack. And then I just adhered some little wood balls for feet at the bottom. I hope you were inspired by today's project. If you need more inspiration, you can join me over on Paperlicious Designs. See you next time!